Hey, what's up? This is Brian Pfeiffer with ExploringLasVegas.com, and I'm standing here today, guys, at the Larry Flint's Hustler Club. You can see in the background I got the Larry Flint's fleet, some of their party buses and sprinters. They also have Escalades and limos and whatnot. And then over here behind me, you'll see the awning to the Larry Flint's Hustler Club. And then up there, okay, in the side entrance right there, that's going to be your entrance to the Terrace Afterhours, okay? And this video is going to be about after hours in Las Vegas. I get asked a lot of questions all the time. You know, what are the good after hours to go to in Las Vegas? You know, where do we go when the clubs close? And this video is going to give you all the information you need to know about all the places that I know about. Maybe there's a couple that I don't know about, but I pretty much know everything out here. So this is going to be a video on after hours in Las Vegas. Probably my number one pick, okay, to get started is probably the longest standing after hours in Las Vegas, and that's going to be at Drai's After Hours at the Cromwell, okay? At one time, Drai's After Hours was one of my favorite places to go because I like tech house music, and it was a tech house after hours in the main room, kind of hip hop in the other room, and then it went from hip hop into the main room to tech house in the small room, and now it's just going straight hip hop, okay? So Drai's After Hours kind of feeds off the Drai's nightclub, which is above it, I think on the 11th floor, and then everybody goes there for the hip hop artists, and then they go downstairs, they walk down, you know, go through the elevator, head over to the basement of the Cromwell for the after hours party, and it's lit. It's a good hip hop after hours party. They pretty much have hip hop going now in both rooms, a little bit of Latin here and there. I know Thursdays they do kind of a Latin party. But Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays is going to be mainly hip-hop at Drai's After Hours, and it is good, okay? They've done a good job with keeping that place going and keeping it, you know, a nice and clean and safe environment for everybody to kind of go to. They don't really sell tickets to it anymore. They only do like a guest list early. You can hit me up for that. I know a guy that does a list over there. I don't personally do the guest list, but I can send you his number. And then, you know, I of course, I book bottle service over there. So they really are selective on who they let in there, so they don't sell tickets on purpose, and they don't let certain people in on the guest list if they don't meet their like dress code requirements, or they don't look like a person that's going to, you know, contribute to the night, if you will. If they're going to, you know, be a problem, they're not going to let them in. Okay, so they cleaned it up pretty good over there, and that's my number one pick in Las Vegas, longest standing and still going strong. If you're into hip hop, then Drai's After Hours is going to be probably your number one pick. Now, the next couple after hours places are going to be more tech house, okay? For those of you that go to like an XS or an Omnia or a Hakkasan or a Marquee or a Zouk, and you're into that kind of music, a little bit of EDM, and you want to keep the party going with a little bit of tech house, you have a couple of options out here in Las Vegas. Now, Vegas is not Miami in space. I've been to space in Miami. It's one of my favorite places to go, but it's nowhere near that loud here. So don't expect that when you come out here, but you can still go somewhere after the clubs close if you want some tech house. And number two on my list is actually going to be right here. That's going to be the Terrace After Hours, which is on the rooftop of the Larry Flint's Hustler Club. And my buddy Brett Rubin's been putting this thing on for, I don't know, close to 5 years now. And he spins up there sometimes. He's a buddy of mine from Chicago. They do DJs up there, tech house. I don't think he brings in the bigger names anymore so much, but he still does bring in some names, you know, guys that are kind of like mid-level, you know, popular tech house guys, and they know how to rock it up there. It starts at 2 a.m. every Friday and Saturday night. It goes till about 8 a.m. and it's really nice in the summer because it's outside and it's open air, and you can see the sun come up, and it's a nice place to kind of finish off the night if you're in that party mood and you want somewhere to go after the nightclubs. The Hustler Terrace is one of my, it would be my top pick in Vegas, but you know, because it is not as good as Drai's when it comes to the actual after hours, I'll put it number 2 on my list. All right, let's talk about number 3 on my list, and that's going to be Ego nightclub. Okay, this was the old Tempo nightclub. Before that, I think it was a gay bar. My buddy Sandro runs that, and for a while there, he was killing it when COVID was going on, and he was able to kind of run in a, you know, sort of an illegal after hours. And I met a lot of locals and stuff there through that because the main clubs had all this social distancing, but he kind of let things fly over there, and he was killing it. Then he was bringing in big DJs like your Steve Lawlers. He had some other guys like Anthony Atala and whatnot. And you know, when the other big clubs started opening up, and he was competing with, you know, Tiesto and Zed and David Guetta and stuff, well, then he just couldn't compete, and he was spending money and just didn't have enough people to support it. So he closed it down. They remodeled it, and now they reopened now called Ego. Same building. It's kind of the same layout, but it's a little bit, you know, a little bit newer, a little bit nicer. They kind of made it a little bit like space in there with stuff hanging from the ceiling, and they got a great sound system, and they're not really spending big money on DJs like before, taking that big risk, but they are bringing in some like local talent, some good DJs like Robbie Powell and some other local guys that know how to spin. check house, and I think they're keeping their costs low, and they're doing some like special events for like emo nights and corporate events and stuff, and they're kind of making the filling the room earlier in the night and then turn it into the after hours after 2 a.m. I think they're only doing Friday, Saturday, Sunday these days, probably from like 2 a.m. till about 8 a.m. the same hours. But if you want somewhere to go in the winter months, when the terrace is a little cold for the outside, they move it inside. Probably the better party is going to be over at Eagle during the winter months. Okay, in the summer probably the terrace. I know a lot of people go to Eagle first and then they go to the terrace in the night. So that's kind of the local lineup, if you will, for the after party. So Eagle maybe after the nightclubs, and then terrace after that. Catch that sunrise, and we'll go from there. So that's my number 3 pick on my list. My number 4 pick on my list is not open yet, so I don't know how it's going to be, but I do know the guy that's going to be running it. He's actually a guy from Chicago, and they are close to opening. Apparently, they're just kind of waiting on some licensing. But this used to be a gay club called The Iconic, and now it's going to be called Wet After Hours, okay? And this is over there by the Orleans Hotel. It's kind of slightly off the strip, but not far, just a couple minutes from the main strip. And they're going to be running a hip-hop after hours over there to kind of compete with Drai's, but they're going to be bringing in some more like mid-level mid-level hip-hop artists. Are going to bringing in some Instagram-type models. Urban, they're going to go after that hip-hop type crowd, kind of compete with the Girl Collection and Dre's After Hours. But this guy from Chicago, I won't name him, but I know him pretty well. And this guy knows how to throw a party. I was doing some work with him at another club in Chicago called Ocean, and he was pretty good at bringing out a decent crowd. I got a lot of traffic on my website from people wanting to go to that party, and he was throwing it. He was the main promoter. I'm pretty sure he's going to do the same thing out here, so he knows what he's doing, and I'm pretty confident that'll be a player in the after hours space when they get that thing open. It is going to be a strip club and a nightclub all in one, and it is going to be hip hop, so that's kind of unique. It's going to be kind of like your Mayweather strip club, which is just a strip club, but this is going to be like a nightclub and strip club vibe. Okay, so it might be something different, and it might really do well out here. So let's keep an eye out for Wet After Hours. That was number 4 on the list. Now, that's really about it. Okay, Vegas doesn't have a very strong after hours scene. It's not like Miami with 11 and club space and different places to go even besides those places. But we do have the strip clubs around here. Okay, and one of the places that I do work with here is Larry Flint's Hustler Club, right there, and it's a female strip club. There's actually about, I think, 21 strip clubs I work with in Las Vegas, and I have a top 15 strip club list. I can put the link below so you can really see what's going on. And all the strip clubs pretty much stay open until at least 5, most of them till 6 on Fridays and Saturdays. Some of them stay open 24 hours, and some stay open till 8 in the morning like a Rhino on the weekends. So if you want to go anywhere after the nightclubs, or even after one of these after hours, there are 24-hour strip clubs to go to and have some drinks and hang out. Like, for example, right around the corner, well, this place is 24 hours now, and then Crazy Horse 3 is 24 hours right around the corner. Rhino's open till 8 a.m. So there are options to go to pretty much all hours of the day if you're looking to drink and party and hang out with some strippers. They're strip clubs. They're not nightclubs. Okay, you're not going to get a club where there's going to be pretty girls hanging out and whatnot. You're going to get strippers. Okay, they're strip clubs. So just keep that in mind. There are going to be people there, but during the day hours it's not as crowded as prime time. So that's what I would recommend for after hours. You got strip clubs, you got the 4 after hours options, and we do have some packages involved with limos. All the strip clubs have pretty much transportation that we work with, so they'll come pick you up. We'll send a car over to pick you guys up, and just hit me up. 773-459-8133 is my cell. We do have some packages with bottle packages, and save a little bit of money off the retail if you book with us ahead of time and pay for a little deposit in advance. And we can bundle stuff with your nightclubs, your after hours. We can even do a brunch the next day. We can do men's shows, whatever you guys want. If you're females and you want to hit it after hours and then do a men's show prior to that, we can make that happen. So make sure you hit me up. Do like this video if you like my content, and I would appreciate a subscribe on this channel, and I'll bang that notification bell to be notified for more. I'm Brian Pfeiffer, signing out here from the Larry Flint's Hustler Club on After Hours in Las Vegas. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.